Hey guys, well I have super exciting news for you guys and some very terrible news. The good news, and we're gonna go straight into it, but both General Skywalker and the new ARC Trooper kits have been revealed. So we'll kind of jump straight into that, and then I'm gonna hold the bad news for the very end. I kind of like this. I'm more of an optimist, so we'll go ahead and go with the good news and the cool things, and then we'll get straight into the bad things. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So this is the kind of the forum talking about General Skywalker. We're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna play this video real quick. So we'll go ahead and play it. Let's go ahead. I'll try to talk through it that way I don't get a copyright strike, and I got music in the background.
General Skywalker is the steadfast leader of the 501st Battalion. He's a fierce Jedi attacker who protects his allies at all costs. His strength lies in his synergies with his 501st allies, Ahsoka Tano, Rex, Echo, and Fives. His unique ability, Hero with No Fear, provides him massive buffs. For each 501st ally, he gains increased defense, protection, and tenacity. If all allies are 501st, he gets counter chance and critical chance too. General Skywalker's leader ability, General of the 501st, adds phase-based gameplay mechanics to the battle with the introduction of two status effects, Advance and Cover. Advance grants a permanent taunt and prevents 501st allies from losing health. Enemies have no choice but to concentrate their attacks on General Skywalker while his allies attack from safety. However, when General Skywalker's protection reaches 0, he enters a depleted state and can no longer defend his squad. The advance effect is replaced by cover. While taking cover, General Skywalker is immune and can neither attack or be attacked, all the while leaving his allies vulnerable. He slowly regains protection and turn meter in this state. When his protection is full, he advances on the enemy once again, safeguarding his 501st allies. To regain the upper hand, the enemy must deal damage to General Skywalker and force him to take cover again. Only when all of General Skywalker's 501st allies are defeated can he too be taken down. General Skywalker's final unique, the Chosen One, provides impressive offensive and defensive perks, most notably allowing him to unleash a barrage of abilities each turn. His two special abilities, Sundering Strike and Force Grip, work in tandem. Strike with one, and Skywalker will follow up with the other. The abilities provide different bonus effects based on the order they're used. Sundering Strike inflicts Armor Shred, which guarantees Force Grip to be a critical hit. Force Grip inflicts Daze, which causes Sundering Strike to deal double damage. Choose the right combination, and General Skywalker will tear apart his enemy's defenses. General Skywalker, a tenacious leader and steadfast protector of his allies, is ready for battle on the holotables. Learn more at the Galaxy of Heroes website.
Yeah. Alright. Cool. So we're going to go just straight into this. You kind of saw most of the kit, so I'm not going to read everything. What makes General Skywalker special? Kind of basically the rundown is he can take 2 turns, and you saw that depending on what ability is used will affect the other one. They all have different effects depending on the order, so depending on probably your opponent and the squads that you're fighting determines how your order you want to use them on. So, and kind of like I said, use 2 abilities per turn. How does the mechanic work? Do you select abilities twice? And no, the player would choose the first ability and then trigger a second ability linked to the first table. So, and he says if it uses this basic attack basic attack instead, for example, special 1 can deal double damage as used first as opposed to special 2 being used first, and this result in critical hit possible. So, can you explain how the advance and cover works? So kind of like what they were explaining is that, so when he's in advance, he's got a permanent taunt, and 501st allies cannot lose health. So if you've got a full squad, he's going to be basically taking all the hits, but he's also going to be, if it's a full squad, counterattacking with crit chance up, I think it was critical chance up, as well as protection up, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And once you get him down, his protection down, he goes into cover. then while he's in cover, you can then inflict damage on his allies. But here's the thing, if you don't kill them, so you have to kill them in order to put him into his last stance. If you don't kill them, then he will advance again, and then you have to get him down again, and then go back and finish off his ally, then go back and finish off him once again. Super crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, and I'm excited. At the same time, I'm not, and we'll get to the bad parts here in a minute. So how do you defeat them? Just kind of like what exactly I talked about. So the remove ability is something really, really interesting. So we've used this spell in the past for characters that need to remove debuffs, but General Skywalker has the special keyword remove. This will remove all status effects, including undispellable effects. This was necessary for the mechanics of General Skywalker's kit, and given the legendary nature of his abilities, we felt it made sense in this rare case, but this is not something we plan on using in future character kits. So I like this, that they're going to stick to just kind of be an Anakin Sing. Kind of like Ron's Fracture or Treia's Isolation, kind of something unique to the character. So how I understand this ability is not a defensive mechanism, so he can take a Fracture off himself or an Isolation, so those may be soft counters, but I think of it more of an offensive sense, if that's how I'm reading that right. So basically Malik's permanent ability that he has, or Jedi Knight Revan, you know how I can't remember the ability, but it's got the blue icon and it bounces around. That can be permanently removed. Or maybe even his Savior ability. I don't know. I doubt that. Stack's Ferocity can be removed. Chewbacca's Loyal Friend ability can be removed. So Han can, he puts it on Han and another Rebel ally. And if the ability is removed, then they can be stunned and all that. So it's super crazy. I feel like he's going to be good on all fronts. I do feel like there is a soft counter, but we'll have to kind of watch and see what happens. So let's see. Yeah, so basically his role in battle, he kind of talks about being a tank and an attacker. So as you saw, he takes the brunt damage, and then he's also dishing it out hardcore. What modes do we expect him to be good in? They kind of talked about just all around. Everything you can think of, from raids, arena, territory battles, wars. We expect him to be all around good, just in the nature of his character. What squads? They talked about 501st Legions. You're going to need a Ahsoka Tano, since she has a 501st tag and needed for a full 501st squad. They are releasing the ARC Trooper. And we'll go to his kit next, but basically it seems like they're kind of giving us the ability to put an ARC Trooper back with a 501st. That way Ahsoka can go back to Jedi Knight Anakin and Obi-Wan under a Padme, or whatever else you want to use it for. It's kind of up to you. It seemed like they were, it kind of seems like they were showing both. That either one works. And specific means and moments, they basically got this from ARC Troopers episode, where Fives and Echo and all them gain their stripes, so to speak. So yeah, I know that was a quick rundown, but we got the video, and you guys can always watch it. And I feel like I was able to explain just the gist of everything in terms of his kit. So let's go over to ARC Troopers, and then we'll just take a quick look at his kit. All right, here we are. So we have a second kit reveal today. So this is right after General Skywalker, probably about 30 minutes later. So this powerful clone attacker can command a blaster turret to the battlefield. So it's kind of like we'll just get into it. So ARC Trooper, light, all his tags. He is Galactic Republic, so he can be used on other teams. His basic Crossfire. Final text: deal physical damage to target enemy. If they had no buffs before this attack, deal 30% more damage. Pretty good. Special number 1, assign command. Final text, so it's not giving the full text, it's just saying the final text. So I don't know what command does. It doesn't really say. This will probably be a new ability that we'll see, but deal physical damage to target enemy. Give command to target other clone ally until they are defeated, or until command is granted to a different ally. Command: the blaster turret assists whenever this character uses an ability of the turn. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. So basically, you give it to Rex, and then whenever Rex, because the ARC Trooper also has permanent assigned command, and I don't remember that was at, but remember looking at earlier. We'll look through this and make sure, but I remember seeing that somewhere. So basically, if Rex is attacking, then the turret's going to assist with him. So, unique 1, Arsenal. So Zeta, so this is the final text of the Zeta. Arc Trooper has 35% counter chance. Arc Trooper always has command. So there was the text I was looking for. So you may have to Zeta him in order to have 2 separate people commanding. And he subverts a blaster turret to the ally slot at the start of the encounter when he is revived. The blaster turret will assist when Arc Trooper attacks out of turn. So, yeah. So seems like he might go good on a Shock T lead. I don't know. We'll see. I think he'll still go good first with Anakin, and the troopers will be assisting off each other. So yeah, and then the blaster turret. Shattering Blast, deal true damage to target enemy and dispel all buffs on them which can't be evaded. And then unique 1, the object's stat scales with the summoner stats. This object can only be summoned if the ally slot is available. This object can't be summoned in raids. This object can't be revived. If any effect counts defeated units, this object doesn't count. And when there are no other allied combatants, this object escapes from battle. A unit can't be revived if the summoned object exists in their slot. So, and then number 2, object properties. This object can't be targeted as a means of damage and effects and does not take a turn. So it's a little bit different from like the Brute Alpha Brute. I think it was a Geonosian Brute. I think that's what it is. So basically, instead of, because you can attack that, you can't attack this piece of equipment. Basically, it's just kind of there. It assists off the other clones and helps. So pretty much this will be a really cool character. I hope it's like free to play right off the bat. Hopefully it's not like nothing screams like, oh my gosh, this is super crazy. It just seems like a really good character. So nothing screams like it's super crazy good or anything like that. So I don't find it should be a marquee character, but we'll see what ends up happening. So, alright, so now that we've covered kind of the good news, I want to get into the terrible bad news. So we'll go ahead and jump into that. Alright, so basically what we have here is it's a data mine. This happened, I found someone shared this with me a couple hours ago. If you guys watched my video yesterday, I had talked about how there were these spoken like requirements, right? 17,700, and that could have been like Gear 11 Zeta or Gear 12 Plus. And I also had talked about there was probably, and I was afraid of, and this ended up, the data mine's showing this, but it's an unspoken an unspoken requirement. So if you see, here's what it basically says. Alright, so 7-star, 17,700. This is what's required, at least in terms of what's actually being told to us. However, when we go down here to recommended, 22,000 power, relic level 3, and mods rarity mark 6, and Zeta ability upgraded. If this is true, and we also have to remember that GC said this was going to be unbelievably difficult or unbelievably hard, one or the other. And how are they else they're going to make money? I know everybody's like, well, it's been 2 years and yada yada, but come on, like, are we really going to think? And like, this is speculation at the moment, but I fear this is going to be true. We'll see. So it kind of talks about a little bit about his kit. Yeah, so let's see, we'll go. Yeah, so basically this data mine says there's a recommended, and then we talk about these recommendations. So I don't know, guys. I really, really hope it's not true. I hope it's false and everybody can just go on their merry way about it. But I don't think, with Anakin being such an amazing character as he is, I don't think it was going to be that easy. So be prepared for that. Be prepared. So, well, all right, guys. Well, yeah. So there you have it. The good, the bad, and ugly, essentially. So I really hope you enjoyed the video today. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time.